Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and I'm here with Rick Atkinson, a paralegal with Kinawea Community Legal Clinic. When we took a break, Rick, we were talking about the Canada Pension Plan, specifically the disability component, and it's got special requirements in terms of contributions so that you apply. I mean, the whole Canada Pension Plan is kind of like your workplace pension plan, if I understand. They keep track of how much you put in, and there's rules about then how you take that out. And it's based on how much you put in.
Yep.
So the more you work,
that's it.
the more money you have in there, and you can draw out. But
That's right.
so you can get it through work. You can get it if your spouse worked and
Through credit
potentially.
split. Yep.
Is there any other way that if you haven't been working that you could qualify for the Canada Pension Plan?
No.
Okay.
There are spousal benefits and things like that if there's somebody has died.
Okay.
But essentially that's it. And what we were discussing was the disability pension. If you become disabled and you can't work,
Yes.
then you are entitled to it if you have made contributions in 4 of the last 6 years up to the date of disability.
Okay.
Now that means that it sounds like you have to make an application within 2 years of being disabled, or you can't get 4 of the last 6 years because for 2 years you would not have worked.
Right.
However, you could make an application even 10 years later and ask that it be backdated to the time that you did qualify. You won't get all the benefits paid backwards. They'll only go back about a year, but you can get entitlement to it. So if you're a disabled person and you've worked, make an application. And
Okay.
if you're denied, you have 90 days to appeal it, and you can come to our office and we will look it over and discuss with you any merits, whether there's merits to the appeal or not.
So it could be that people who have become disabled while they were working or sometime had work may never have known that they were
Or-
entitled to these benefits, and so they
Yep.
could be just finding out today.
Yep. And what we run into a lot are people that are that become disabled at work, and maybe they're on workers' compensation or something, and they think that they're going to go back to work, so they delay making that application sometimes for years. But always go back and make the application and find out if you're entitled, and if you're denied, you can appeal it, and you can have somebody like our office look at it and determine whether or not you have entitlement.
So
There are other special rules that maybe we
Sure.
don't need to get into, but like the 4 out of 6 rule is for everyone, except you can reduce that to 3 out of 6 if you've worked 25 years in the workforce, things like that. But so there are special rules, but bottom line, apply. If you get a denial, bring it into someone like our office, and we'll be happy to look at it for you.
So is all this information, all those details, are they available like on the web? Does Canada Pension?
Oh, yeah. Just Google Service Canada and
Service Canada?
yep, and you can look at their website and you can get all of that information there.
Okay, so the first step really is if you think you might qualify, check into it.
Yep,
Check out what the rules are, see if you fit.
yep.
If they need some specific help, you are a resource in the community to come to.
And that covers off the disability pension. Now you get into the retirement pensions,
Okay.
and you can. There are a number of different options there, like the early retirement.
And
at
now this
age
would apply to
60
more
on.
of us because...
That's right. Anyone who's made a contribution.
Okay.
And the disability pension, it can be actually greater. The maximum amount is more than the maximum amount of the retirement pension.
So what's the maximum amount for a disability
The maximum
pension
amount
through
for a
Canada?
disability pension is $1,236.35 per month.
It'd be pretty hard to live on that, wouldn't it?
That's true. So it would be, hopefully you could supplement that with other money, but, and some people get the CPP disability pension, and they also get the Ontario disability amount, the ODSPA.
Okay.
So it's not that you would maybe have to live on that all by itself, but yeah, it's pretty hard to live on that kind of level of income.
All right. So what are we looking at in terms of retirement pension? Is that the same amount of money, or what?
The maximum for CPP retirement pension is $1,038.33 per month.
So it's a bit less.
That's right. But most people, of course, when they retire and would get the CPP, the retirement pension, would also be getting the old age security if they're 65 or older.
Now, is that the same program?
No.
It's a different
Separate.
program.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a lot of different programs here for us to keep track of,
Yep.
and
Old age
especially as time
yeah.
goes on.
Old age security is funded out of general revenues, not out of contributions. So everybody gets that who's a Canadian citizen and has been born here, and at the age of 65. Now, if you immigrate to Canada, you can get an old age security pension if you have lived here for at least 10 years, and the number of years that you've lived here, for each of those years you'd get 1/40th of a pension. So if you've been here for 40 years, you get the whole pension.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now let me just make sure I got it straight. So, okay, I'm turning 65.
Mm-hmm.
I've made contributions. I'll get a pension from Canada Pension Plan that reflects how much I've put in over the years, over the whole time I've worked.
That's right.
Okay. I got that one.
Yep.
Maximum $1,000 and change.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I may be eligible, if I've lived here for any number of years, for
old age security.
Old age security.
Yep.
How much money are we looking at there?
The maximum for a single person on old age security is $551.54 per month right now.
$551.
Yep.
Okay. And so who's eligible for that again? Everybody?
Everyone who's a Canadian citizen and,
Okay.
and immigrants that have lived here long enough. Yep.
All right, so this is not tied to the workplace at all?
That's right. You don't
Everybody's
have to have work.
entitled to that.
That's right. Yep.
All right. Is there any more?
Yeah, there's more.
Look, I'm coming up to 65.
Yep. If all that you're receiving is CPP and old age security, you're probably going to get the guaranteed income supplement, because the amount that you're receiving, depending on your CPP level, may be below the threshold. Now, the threshold varies with other incomes, etc., but the guaranteed income supplement can be as much as roughly $750, $747 per month. And that depends on your other levels of income. So how much you get, if in total, you would get probably up to around $1,300 a month.
Okay, so if you don't have a retirement, if you haven't worked,
That's right.
then our federal government has got programs in place that you could receive up to $1,300
That's
a month.
right. Yep. If you only got old age security and the guaranteed income supplement, that you'd get those two, $550 and $750.
So how come the government's so good to us like that, giving us that much every month?
Well, what would happen if they didn't? What would happen to people? I mean, you're talking about people who are no longer entitled to social services from their provinces.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in the province of Ontario and you have no money, no income to pay your rent and buy food, etc., you can apply for Ontario Works. And if you're a disabled person, you can apply for Ontario Disability. Now, Ontario Works, the levels there. Do you want the level for Ontario Works?
You know what? I'm gonna say hang on to that, because
Okay.
we're gonna have to move into another break. But I want to come back and explore those a little bit further.
Sure.
All right. Thanks so much, Rick, and hang with us. We'll be right back.